In this podcast, we will be discussing and explaining the endocrine system in humans. So, what is the endocrine system? The endocrine system coordinates the body's response to changes in the environment using chemical messengers called hormones. Hormones are released by glands into the bloodstream, where they travel to target organs. There are lots of different types of endocrine glands. Some examples are: in females, you have the ovaries, which produce estrogen, which is a hormone, and this controls puberty and is one of the main hormones in the regulation of the menstrual cycle. In males, there are the testes. The testes produce testosterone, which controls puberty and sperm production in males. The pancreas produces insulin and glucagon. Both of these hormones are involved in the regulation of blood glucose levels. The thyroid gland is found in our necks, and this releases a hormone called thyroxine. Thyroxine regulates our metabolism, heart rate, and also temperature. We also have the adrenal glands. There are two of these, and they are situated above each kidney. They produce adrenaline, the hormone which triggers the fight or flight response when an organism is presented with a dangerous situation. The pituitary gland is the main endocrine gland, or the master gland. This is found in our brain and is linked to the hypothalamus, which is also called the thermoregulatory center in the brain. And this part of the brain receives signals from receptors. The pituitary gland releases hormones in response to changes detected by the hypothalamus. Lots of these hormones will then trigger other glands to release more hormones, which is why it's called the master gland. So, let's recap the different glands that we've got. We've got the pituitary gland in the brain, the thyroid gland in the neck, testes in males, the adrenal glands, the pancreas, and also the ovaries. So the pituitary gland, the testes, the ovaries, the thyroid gland, the pancreas, and also the adrenal glands. So we also have the nervous system and we have the endocrine system. What is the difference between them? So the central nervous system is different to the endocrine system in a few key ways. The central nervous system triggers rapid responses. It uses electrical signals that are carried by neurons. The response produced is very short and it acts on a very precise part of the body. In comparison, the endocrine or hormonal system triggers a slower response. It uses chemical messengers that are carried by the blood. The response can be long-lasting and can act on large areas of the body. So, the endocrine gland acts on large areas of the body. The endocrine gland uses chemical messengers, and the nervous system triggers a rapid response, in summary. So, what are hormones? They are carried in the bloodstream, they are chemical messengers, and they are released by glands. Right, I have a question for you to think about. Why is the pituitary gland often called the master gland? Yes, it's because many hormones released by the pituitary gland cause other glands to also release hormones. So, the endocrine gland, this will trigger a slower response. It uses chemical messengers called hormones and acts on a very large area of the body, or it can do so.